Imagine doing, like, everything right. I mean, paying for the dinners, sending those thoughtful good morning texts, playing the absolute perfect gentleman, and you still get ghosted.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Right. Meanwhile, the guy who barely gives her the time of day, the guy who doesn't even confirm Saturday plans until, like, Saturday afternoon, he has her constantly checking her phone. She is literally chasing him down.
It's wild to watch.
It is. And I think most men just don't realize they're playing a game where the rules changed, a decade ago.
It is probably the single most frustrating reality for the average guy out there right now. You are operating off this script, a script that was handed to you by your parents, by movies, by just society in general.
Yeah, the classic rom-com script.
Exactly. And you're sitting there wondering why the code isn't working anymore. What we're seeing unfold right now, universally, is that truly attractive, high-value men have completely stopped chasing.
They really have. They just opted out.
They completely abandoned the old-school pursuit. The grandiose romantic gestures just to get a foot in the door, those are gone.
And what's crazy is that women are openly talking about this shift. Like, they are venting about it everywhere. We're seeing it from 18-year-old college freshmen all the way up to 47-year-old single moms.
They are incredibly frustrated.
Oh, beyond frustrated. But, in that frustration, they are actually giving us this perfect blueprint of the modern dating market. They're revealing exactly why the traditional chase is dead.
Right. And if you don't understand the mechanics behind their frustration, you will just endlessly burn your energy. You'll be trying to appease a system that, quite frankly, no longer rewards that kind of effort.
Oh, true.
You have to look under the hood.
Yeah.
You really have to understand leverage. Because once a man shifts his mindset and realizes that he is the primary opportunity, his entire reality changes.
I love that. He is the primary opportunity. Let's look at what's happening at the entry level of the dating pool first, because I feel like it sets the stage for everything else.
Absolutely. Start with the foundation.
Yeah. So there is this massive wave of exhaustion hitting very young women right now. Take your classic, 18 or 19-year-old girl. The cultural ideal for her was supposed to be the roster.
Yes. The infamous roster.
Right. Having like 5 different guys in her phone, all vying for her attention, paying for her drinks, validating her all day. But the reality of managing that roster is turning out to be a complete nightmare for them.
Because it requires immense cognitive load.
Exactly.
Think about the mental bandwidth it takes. She's getting a text from Billy at 9 p.m., right? But she has to remember that Billy is the one with the drama at his accounting firm.
Right.
And then John is snapping her. But she has to remember John's weird family situation so she doesn't say the wrong thing and set him off. And then Zach is annoyed because she didn't like his story.
It sounds exhausting.
It's not a fun, carefree dating life. It is essentially a part-time job in middle management.
That is the perfect way to describe it. It's like running way too many background applications on your computer.
The RAM is completely maxed out.
Yeah, her system is literally crashing. You hear these girls saying they are so overwhelmed by the sheer data management of modern dating that they just want to, skip to the end. They want to find a husband immediately just to turn off the noise.
It's the paradox of choice in action. They asked for endless options, they got endless options, and now they are entirely paralyzed by it.
Yeah.
But, the most revealing part of this exhaustion isn't just the texts. It's what they are complaining these men on the roster are not doing anymore.
Oh, this is the best part. They are furious that the wallets have closed.
Completely shut.
You hear this specific complaint constantly, like, men don't approach in public anymore. Men don't pay for my tuition. They don't buy my salon appointments. They don't buy houses or cars for us like they used to.
Like they used to, right?
Yeah. They are staring at their phones, wondering where all the traditional providers went.
We really have to dissect the underlying mechanism there. Why did the wallets close? I mean, it's not just inflation or a bad economy.
Why, it's deeper than that. Yeah. It's much deeper. Attractive men who have actually built their value and understand their leverage in the marketplace, they woke up. They realized they do not need to lead with their resources.
Because they have other things to offer.
Exactly. They don't need to buy a woman's attention just to compete with Billy, John, and Zach.
But how does that actually work in practice? Because, let's be real, we've been socially conditioned from birth to believe men must provide to show any kind of worth. That's the classic model.
It is the classic model, yeah.
So if a guy doesn't try to impress her, if he doesn't bring the romance or the financial flex, doesn't he just look cheap? Like, how does he stand out in that crowded roster if he's not outspending the other guys?
By utilizing the overwhelming power of directness.
Directness. Okay, unpack that.
Well, the traditional courtship game, the expensive dinners, the gifts, the flowery texts, that entire script actually allows a woman to control the pacing of the interaction.
Ah, I see. She can deflect, she can string a guy along, she can extract free meals while maintaining total plausible deniability about her actual intention.
Oh, like, we're just friends getting dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But confident men have cracked that code.
Yeah.
They just refuse to play. They present exactly who they are on the table immediately.
It strips away all the padding, basically.
Totally. They just look at her and say, I think you're sexy, I'm into you, let's link up.
Which is incredibly blunt.
It is. And sometimes what they're offering is entirely non-committal. Sometimes it's unabashedly messy. But they put it out there and basically say, here is the reality of the situation. Take it or leave it.
And women often profess to absolutely hate this bluntness. They call it rude or, unromantic.
Because it completely removes their ability to maneuver.
Right. They can't play the game anymore.
Precisely. It forces a binary response. Yes or no. Are you in or are you out? It cuts through that ram-crashing roster completely.
That makes so much sense.
When a man is that direct, he's not asking for permission to enter her orbit. He is offering her a slot in his. And if she says no, he doesn't argue. He doesn't try to, convince her. He just moves on immediately.
And ironically, refusing to play the game makes him the most visible, attractive guy in a sea of men who are desperately trying to buy her time.
It's counterintuitive, but it's true. That directness acts like a massive filter.
It really does. And, that completely reframes this other massive complaint you hear echoing literally everywhere right now.
Which one?
Where women are looking right at the camera, completely serious, and saying, men are not committing anymore, they just want situationships. They frame it as this global crisis of male commitment. Like there's an epidemic of guys refusing to settle down.
The commitment illusion. This is a trap so many guys fall into. Because if you take that complaint at face value, you'd think there's a shortage of men willing to settle down. But there's a massive invisible modifier attached to that statement.
Right, an invisible modifier. What is it?
It is not that all men aren't committing. It's that the specific top-tier men she wants are not committing to her.
Oh man, that is so brutal but so accurate, because it's the average guy who gets the most frustrated by this. The guy who goes to work, hits the gym, pays his bills, and is highly reliable.
He's doing everything right.
He is. And he hears a woman claim she is single by choice because, quote, men won't commit, while he is sitting right there, willing to treat her like an absolute queen. I mean, she has guys in her DMs who would marry her tomorrow.
But those guys don't exist in her reality. She's completely rendered them invisible. She only sees the guys at the very apex of her dating pool.
The top 10%.
Or even the top 5. And the brutal reality about those high-value men is that they understand market dynamics better than anyone.
They have to.
If a man knows he is highly attractive, if his career is taking off, and he has a revolving door of options, what is his incentive to lock himself into a monogamous relationship just because a woman demands it?
There isn't one. Not unless she brings something entirely exceptional to his life.
Exactly. Why would he settle for a demanding arrangement when he can enjoy the absolute freedom of the marketplace? Women often fail to capitalize when they actually have a good opportunity right in front of them.
They get greedy.
They do. They operate on this delusion that there is always a slightly taller, slightly richer, slightly more handsome option just around the corner.
Yeah, they basically want the romance novel guy, but with the compliance of a golden retriever.
That's a great way to put it. And when they finally land a date with that romance novel guy and he only offers them a casual situationship because, he has 5 other women doing the exact same thing, she refuses to take responsibility for her own market choices.
Right. It's never her fault for choosing the guy who clearly doesn't want a relationship.
Exactly. She blames the entire male gender for fearing commitment. Men need to recognize this dynamic immediately.
So what should a guy do if he realizes this?
If you have done the work, if you have built your value, you have to stop feeling guilty for playing the field. These women are making highly calculated, ruthless choices about who they filter out. You are absolutely allowed to be just as calculated with your commitment.
Don't give it away for free.
Never.
But, realizing your leverage is only half the battle, right? Because that whole always waiting for a better option mentality operates on a really fundamental flaw.
The timeline flaw.
Yes. The assumption that time is somehow paused. It assumes the market will look exactly the same in 10 or 20 years as it does today. And that brings us to the brutal awakening happening with older demographics right now.
Shifting timelines.
Yeah.
It is easily the most unforgiving law of human dating.
It really is. There's this fascinating scenario playing out online with a 47-year-old single mother. Have you seen this?
I think I know the one you're talking about, yeah.
She is absolutely furious, like visibly angry. She's complaining that guys her age just want to, quote, Netflix and chill. They want to text. They don't want to take her out to lavish dinners. They don't want to court her properly.
Right.
She feels wildly disrespected by the total lack of traditional effort.
Because she's expecting the courtship of a 22-year-old when she's pushing 50.
Exactly. She even brags about how she's raising her sons to be old-school gentlemen. She says she tells her boys, if a girl asks what your favorite food is, you don't just say pizza. You ask her what hers is back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She wants this intense, reciprocal, investigative courtship, and she is livid that 40-something men aren't providing it.
This is where we really have to look at the socioeconomic and biological realities of the market. Because men and women simply do not play by the same set of rules as they age.
They really don't.
A 47-year-old man who has his money right, his life in order, his health in check, and a solid career, he is hitting the absolute peak of his purchasing power in the dating market.
His options are literally exploding.
Dramatically. He can date women his own age who don't have kids. He can date women in their 30s. Often he can date women in their late 20s. The doors are opening incredibly wide for him.
While hers are closing?
Exactly. A 47-year-old single mother is, unfortunately, watching her doors close. The pool of men at that level who want to take on a ready-made family and court a woman with the intense, resource-heavy traditionalism she expects is virtually non-existent.
But let's look at it from her perspective for a second, just to be fair. Is it really crazy for her to still want a standard? I mean, just because she's older and has kids, does that mean she should just accept a guy coming over in sweatpants to watch TV? Shouldn't she hold out for respect?
Look, having boundaries and standards is completely fine. No one is saying she has to accept bad behavior. The issue is the delusion of what I call the attractive simp.
The attractive simp, I love that.
That is exactly what she is demanding. She wants a highly attractive, successful, top-tier man to play a traditional, submissive courtship game that he has absolutely no incentive to play.
It's basically an oxymoron. The men who are willing to play that game aren't the men she finds attractive.
Precisely. Think about the mindset of a man who has spent 25 years grinding. He built his career, he survived his mistakes, he got his physique right. He has built himself into a highly valuable commodity by age 47.
He put in the work.
He did. He is not going to spend his hard-earned time, energy, and resources playing the romantic fool for a single mother who likely gave her easiest, most carefree years to other men in her 20s.
Ooh, that's real.
He just doesn't need to jump through her hoops. He has options that don't require that level of sacrifice.
That is a really harsh reality for a lot of people to accept.
It is harsh, but it's actually incredibly liberating for men when they finally understand it. Men get better with time if they put the work in.
Right.
This is the core reason you have to stay on your grind. Your leverage as a man only increases as you build your competence and your stability. But here is the key takeaway for you. The expectation of traditional, resource-heavy courtship is something you must guard fiercely.
You don't just hand it out to anyone.
Never. You do not hand it out just because society or a frustrated 47-year-old demands it.
Yeah.
You deploy it only when a woman truly earns it and matches your value.
That makes total sense. So once a guy internalizes this whole abundance mindset, he inevitably runs into situations where women try to force him back into the old script.
They will always test you.
Always. And I want to look at how this plays out in real time because there is this story making the rounds that perfectly illustrates the absolute power of male indifference. It just completely short-circuits female dating strategies.
The gym encounter.
Yes.
It's a masterclass in behavioral psychology.
It really is. So the setup is simple. A woman is at the gym, and she's trying to lock down Saturday plans with a guy she's been casually chatting with. She wants a firm commitment, right?
Right.
And the guy gives her these incredibly soft dodges. He says he's been slammed at work, he might be back late from playing football, and he caps it off with, "I'll have a think tomorrow and message you."
Which is universal code for, you are not a priority right now.
Exactly. So Friday rolls around, and it's crickets. He doesn't text her. Then she sees him at the gym again. She walks up to him, clearly frustrated, and tries to bring it up. She says something passive-aggressive like, let's just leave it, it's too much effort.
She's trying to guilt him.
She is. She's trying to make him apologize and chase her. And as she's saying this, literally mid-sentence, the guy spots his buddy walking by the big glass windows of the gym.
This is the critical moment right here.
His friend is smirking at him through the glass.
Yeah.
And the guy completely stops listening to her. He looks at his friend 2 or 3 times, interrupts her, and says, hang on a second, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to speak to my pal.
She just walks away.
He walks away.
Right.
And he never comes back to finish the conversation.
And her reaction to this online was pure, unadulterated fury.
She was livid. She calls him objectively rude, says she's entirely put off by him, and basically paints him as this huge villain. But we have to analyze the psychology of why she was so triggered by this.
Because it goes way beyond just bad manners. Yes, walking away mid-sentence is technically rude. But people deal with rude behavior every day without making a public spectacle of it on the internet. What happened here was the ultimate insult to her ego.
Her ego was completely shattered.
Think about what his physical actions communicated to her subconscious. He wasn't even interested in stringing her along for a casual hookup. His complete and utter indifference signaled loud and clear that he operated in a reality of total abundance.
He was not sweating her at all.
Not even a little bit.
It completely shattered her reality. I mean, she's used to guys hovering around her at the gym. And, a lot of guys struggle with this exact dynamic. The gym is a prime example of where things go wrong.
It really is.
You see guys lingering by the water cooler, terrified of making a wrong move, basically putting women on a pedestal. They are paralyzed because they just don't have a mental map of how the interaction should actually go.
They are operating from a place of deep scarcity. They think, if I blow this one interaction, I have absolutely no other options.
Exactly. This is why having some kind of framework is so critical. If a guy is lost in that scarcity mindset, a structured roadmap can completely change his default behavior. If someone wants a more structured roadmap, that's actually something Stealth Attraction does well.
Oh, absolutely.
I like that it gives guys a step-by-step framework instead of leaving them to guess. Because you don't want to be the guy nervously waiting around the gym equipment for a signal that never comes. Some men prefer learning through a structured program, and Stealth Attraction by Richard La Ruina is one example that just maps it out.
Right, because when you have a system, you naturally project confidence. You don't need a specific outcome from any one interaction, which looks a lot like what the guy in this gym story naturally possessed.
He wasn't outcome dependent.
He wasn't outcome dependent at all, and here's the punchline to the whole gym story. The craziest part isn't that he walked away to talk to his buddy.
What's the craziest part?
The craziest part is that even after she deemed him incredibly rude, even after she claimed her ego was bruised and she was entirely put off, she admits that she went back up to him 30 minutes later to try talking to him again.
Wait, really? She went back for more?
She went back. It is phenomenal. It completely validates the power of indifference. She complains bitterly about his behavior, but his behavior drove her level of attraction so high that she actually sought him out again.
That is insane.
It is a vital lesson in understanding who the prize is. Women will constantly say it is exceedingly rare to find a man they are truly viscerally attracted to. Yet when they find one, they often refuse to do the chasing because it violates their idea of their quote-unquote role as a woman.
She actually said that in her breakdown. She said she wouldn't set up the date formally because it wasn't her role.
And that is a fatal flaw in her strategy, but it's a massive opportunity for men. As a man, you must realize that you are the opportunity. If she thinks you are rare, if she finds you attractive, the onus is on her to meet you halfway. If she won't step up, you let her walk. You have to stop wasting your gas, your money, and your mental energy chasing a woman who isn't matching your effort.
The guy in the gym understood this implicitly.
He did. If a girl checks all his boxes, but refuses to make a move because of some antiquated idea of gender roles, he just views it as her loss. He's not going to bend over backwards to secure a date he was only marginally interested in anyway.
It's a literal masterclass in holding frame, and it connects directly to how women cope when they realize they've encountered a guy who won't chase.
The coping mechanisms are fascinating.
Oh, they really are. When they realize their leverage in the market is gone entirely, they construct these elaborate defensive narratives. I want to talk about these coping mechanisms, specifically what I look at as the hometown trap.
Ah, yes, the hometown trap. This is a classic deflection strategy. We see it everywhere online.
We really do. There's this common scenario. A single mom, usually in her early 30s, feeling completely trapped in her hometown. She goes online and claims that the local guys aren't worth dating.
They're immature, they're broke, whatever the excuse is.
Right. But she also complains that the successful guys from outside her town won't bait her. She's stuck in this miserable middle ground, and she essentially blames the geography.
Let's explain the actual mechanics of a localized dating economy, because it explains everything. I look at a hometown as a closed market ecosystem.
Okay, a closed market ecosystem, what does that mean for her?
In a closed market, your history is public record. Your credit score is permanent. When she says the local guys aren't worth it, what she's deliberately omitting is the reality of her local reputation.
Oh, wow.
The guys in that town know exactly who she dated in her early 20s. They know the bad boys she chased, they know exactly how she treated the decent guys, and they know exactly how she ended up as a single mom.
The nice guys she friend-zoned 10 years ago have long memories.
Exactly. Those nice guys have grown up, they've wised up, they built their careers, they got in shape, and they are probably married. Or, at the very least, they have made themselves completely unavailable to the woman who overlooked them when they were younger.
They aren't waiting in the wings to be her backup plan.
They absolutely are not.
So she tries to look outside the hometown. She tries to enter the open market.
But the open market is driven purely by current logistical value, not sentimentality.
Logistical value.
Right. The guys outside her town look at the cold, hard logistics. Why would a successful, unencumbered guy from 3 towns over drive 45 minutes to date a single mom with hometown baggage when he has local, single, childless options in his own city?
He wouldn't?
He wouldn't. She doesn't have the leverage she thinks she does in the open market, and her credit is ruined in the closed market. So she blames the town.
Which leads perfectly into the second part of this coping mechanism, and honestly, it might be the most prevalent one right now.
Let me guess. The old soul.
Yes. The myth of the old soul. You see this on literally every dating app. A woman will claim she's an old soul, that she really belongs in the 70s or the 90s.
It's an aesthetic.
Right. She says she hates modern hookup culture, she hates waiting for people to respond to texts, and she just wants traditional old-style love. She says she's just looking for a man of God.
We have to tear down this facade, because it is almost entirely a performance.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely. It's saying a lot and doing a little. It's applying a 1950s cinematic filter to a 2026 digital marketplace. If she truly, genuinely just wanted a man of God, she would be heavily involved in her local church, and she would be marrying one of the devout, average-earning men right there in the pews.
But that's not what's happening.
It's not happening at all.
Because there's a massive hidden checklist beneath the old soul aesthetic, right?
There always is. She says she wants an old soul, but what she actually wants is a guy who is 6'2", makes high 6 figures, has high social status, and acts like a traditional old-school romantic who writes love letters and opens car doors.
She wants the top 1% modern man to act like a 1950s gentleman exclusively for her.
Exactly.
But consider the alternative perspective for a moment. Guys used to do that stuff. We've all seen the movies. We've heard the stories from our grandparents, making the mixtapes, throwing rocks at the window, the grand romantic gestures. Why is it so crazy for her to want to experience that?
It's not crazy to want it. Human beings love romance. We're wired for it.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the timeline of when guys actually perform those behaviors.
Okay, when do they perform them?
When do men throw rocks at windows, make compilation CDs, and spend their last $20 to impress a girl's friends? They do it when they're young, broke, and naive.
When they have literally nothing else to offer but their effort.
Precisely. Young men will do anything to prove themselves because they lack intrinsic market value. They have no money, no status, no track record, so they compensate with grand gestures.
That makes so much sense.
But as men get older, as they get wiser, as they build their bank accounts and their emotional intelligence, they realize the return on investment for those gestures is absolutely terrible.
They stop playing the romantic fool.
They do. They realize they're bending over backwards for women who wouldn't give them the time of day if they weren't performing these exhausting routines.
Wow, that is the core realization right there. Men wake up and say, wait, why am I performing a Shakespearean play for someone who brings nothing but a demanding attitude to the table?
If you are navigating this market, you have to understand this dynamic. Stop feeling obligated to provide unconditional old-school romance to modern women who are not offering old-school loyalty or cooperation.
It has to be a two-way street.
Exactly. If she spent her youth participating in modern hookup culture, You do not owe her a 1990s rom-com courtship just because she hit 30 and suddenly decided she's an old soul.
That is a massive paradigm shift. It completely changes how you view early interactions. So let's look at what happens when a guy who has internalized all this actually decides to take a woman out. He's navigating this landscape, he sets up a date, and then he runs face first into maximum entitlement.
The first date power play.
Yeah.
This is where you see the true nature of the modern dynamic.
Yeah, there is this specific story of a woman on a first date that highlights this perfectly. The setup is this. They agree to meet at a really nice restaurant. The guy hits traffic, his Waymo is taking forever, and he messages her to say he's going to be 20 minutes late.
So he communicated the delay.
Yes, he communicated it. So she's sitting at the restaurant alone, but instead of just waiting or ordering a water, she immediately orders an expensive French white wine. She tells the waitress that the guy's going to pay for it all when he arrives. And then, this is the crazy part, she pulls out her phone and complains to her audience online.
Establishing the victim narrative before he even walks in the door.
Exactly. She says a real man would have been profusely apologetic upon arrival. She says he should have begged for forgiveness and immediately offered to buy her unlimited drinks and appetizers to make up for his tardiness.
Let's really dissect the anatomy of this entitlement because it's fascinating. Yes, the guy was late. Being 20 minutes late on a first date is a mistake. It's poor form.
Sure, nobody likes to wait.
But look closely at her reaction. Her expectation is not a genuine apology. A healthy, collaborative partner would accept a sincere apology and move on with the evening. Her expectation is submission.
She wants penance.
She wants him to grovel. She views his minor logistical mistake as a golden opportunity to extract resources and establish absolute dominance over the frame of the relationship.
Like a power grab.
Exactly. Her internal logic is, you messed up, therefore I own your wallet for the evening and you owe me emotional subservience. It is an incredibly punitive mindset.
So if you are a confident, high-value man in that scenario, how do you actually handle it? Because mistakes do happen. Traffic happens, meetings run late. How do you handle your own mistake without falling into the trap of groveling and handing over your frame?
It comes down to emotional control. A confident man handles a mistake simply and directly. He arrives, he looks her in the eye, and he apologizes once, sincerely. I apologize for being late. Traffic was worse than I expected.
And then what?
And then, crucially, he moves on. He sits down, picks up the menu, and begins the date. He does not offer unlimited appetizers as a penance. He does not buy her affection to make up for a 20-minute delay.
But what if she decides to be punitive? What if he sits down and realizes she's already run up a tab on expensive French wine, her body language is completely closed off, and she's giving him attitude to punish him?
Then he recognizes the character flaw immediately. He sees the red flag for exactly what it is.
And he doesn't ignore it.
No, because if she acts entitled and punitive over a minor infraction on date one, imagine what she will be like 5 years into a marriage.
Oh, miserable.
Right, so if she acts that way, a confident man simply calls the waiter over. He pays for his own water or whatever tab he feels personally responsible for. He stands up, ends the date right there, and walks away.
He just leaves the restaurant.
Absolutely. Enforcing boundaries is the ultimate display of confidence. Tolerating bad behavior, especially on a first date, ruins the relationship before it even starts.
Because you're setting a precedent.
Exactly. If you teach a woman that she can punish you financially or emotionally for a minor mistake, you are setting a precedent of misery for the rest of your life. A high-value man's time, dignity, and peace of mind are worth far more than appeasing an entitled stranger at a restaurant.
It all comes back to who holds the leverage and who is genuinely willing to walk away. The guy at the gym walked away, the guy at the restaurant walks away.
We've covered a massive amount of ground here today, but the through line is undeniable. We've seen how attractive men have completely stopped playing the traditional chasing game.
They really have.
They are avoiding the cognitive overload of the roster. They are opting out of situationships with entitled women, and they are refusing to be manipulated by fake old souls or punitive first dates.
And on the flip side, we've seen how intensely frustrated women are becoming because of this lack of traditional courtship. They are demanding the old school romance, but they refuse to offer the old school dynamic of cooperation and respect. It is a complete stalemate.
It is a fundamental shift happening in real time. Men are finally realizing that their attention and their resources are the actual prize.
So here is the thought I want to leave everyone with, something to seriously mull over as you navigate your own interactions this week. We are watching the rules rewrite themselves as more and more men wake up to these dynamics, as they realize their own intrinsic value, and as they completely opt out of the chase. What happens to the dating market in the next 5 or 10 years when the ultimate male flex is simply choosing to walk away?